Hello, I am Jeff Huff. I am the chair of the West Zoning Board. It is 6:30, and I think we're going to go ahead and get started here. If we could have the clerk take the roll, I'd appreciate that.
Thank you. John DeGrand,
Present.
Jeff Huff,
Present.
Terry Atwell,
Here.
Craig Connell,
Here.
Donna
Ketzman here.
Gutzman, sorry, Bob Paulson,
Here.
and Roger Spears.
Here.
Thank you. All are present.
All are present. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. So do you want to go ahead and before we do anything else, or do you want to wait until we get to the?
It's up to you, Mr. Chair, whichever you prefer. You want me to go ahead and make my introduction?
Do you want me to read the Zoom statement first?
Yes, Leslie, you probably should.
Okay.
Okay.
This meeting is now being recorded. Please silence all electronic devices. Please note, this meeting is being held in the board hearing room with zoning board members attending in person. There is also an option for virtual attendance on Zoom webinar. If you are using Zoom, you may participate in the meeting using your computer, telephone, or other electronic device. For Zoom participants, chat will be disabled once the meeting begins. If you have trouble, please call 913-715-9666. If you would like to speak, please use the raise hand function on the Zoom app to notify planning staff of your desire to speak. To activate this function, click raise hand in the webinar controls at the bottom of the screen. By telephone, you may raise your hand by dialing *9. Please do not utilize the raise hand function until the start of the agenda item about which you desire to comment. We will take comments from in-person attendees first, followed by Zoom participants. The Zoom moderator will call all individuals who have raised their hand. The chairman may modify these procedures as needed to conduct an orderly and efficient meeting. All public speakers will be limited to 3 minutes unless the chair designates a different time period in order to accommodate all the speakers. When your name is called by the moderator, your microphone will be unmuted. Please state your name and address for the record, followed by your comments. If you share comments, concerns, or points made by others, please refrain from repeating those comments and instead note for the record that you agree with the previous individual's comments. There will be a 10 seconds remaining warning sound. Board members and presenters, please state your name every time you begin talking so that the comments can be transcribed for the record. Also, I would like to add, please don't forget to unmute if you mute your microphone. And this is a public meeting. We are presenting live and recording the meeting. Thank you, Chair.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So the next item here is we're going to turn that over to you and
Okay.
give you a
Mr.
few
Chairman.
minutes.
I appreciate that. Jay Leipzig, the planning director. I did want to make a brief announcement this evening for a couple of new staff that we have on board this evening. Or not, actually, one person is new. The other person is someone that had this was our secretary for a long time, has now moved on to a different position. But I want to introduce everybody to Melissa Colasanto. She is the one sitting, raising her hand. Melissa is our new zoning board secretary. So you all will see her every month for these meetings, and we're very glad to have her as part of our team. I believe her first day was last week. Is that right? So 6 days or 7 days. So she's doing very, very well. We're lucky to have her from the city of Overland Park. And then also we have Leslie Davis. Leslie is training Melissa this evening. Leslie's the community development coordinator. But before that, she was the administrative assistant for the department for what, Leslie, 20 years? Something like, was it that long? I'm dating you. I know, but it was a long time. So we're experienced at this job, and
Go with
we're
a long
happy to
time.
have both of them training. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Well, welcome. All right. So we're going to go through the next phase here, the agenda items. Is there anybody we need to add, delete, or revise or approve on the agenda? Looking good. Disclosure of conflicts of interest of any of the items?
None.
No? Okay. And then disclosure of external contacts or discussions in regards to what we're covering tonight. Looks like I have heads looking no, so I think we're good on that.
That we approve the agenda.
Okay, so there we go. We're going to approval.
Bob.
And Roger Spears, I second.
Okay. I know we approved the minutes of last time. Do we need to approve the agenda with the vote?
Yeah, you've already approved the agenda, but for approval, the motion was to approve the minutes, so we just need. Oh, is that what you're, Mr. Paulson? Oh, okay. Approve the agenda. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. So that's good. We don't need to take a motion for that. I think that's acceptable.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
so we do have a motion and a second for approval of the minutes from the meeting in September. Clerk could take the vote.
John DeGrand,
Aye.
Jeff Huff,
Aye.
Terry Atwell,
Aye.
Craig Connell,
Aye.
Donna Goatsman, Bob Paulson,
Yes.
Roger Spears.
Aye.
That's
Right,
7
I've-
votes.
7-0 is what I've got. Okay, very good on that side. Now the next agenda item is the board reports. And Sean, you're going to do that for us?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sean Penley, planning staff. So for Board of County Commissioners actions, first thing I'll note is on October 5th, the board officially adopted the bylaws for the zoning boards, including the West Consolidated Zoning Board and the East Zoning Board, as well as the Planning Commission. So last Thursday, all of the bylaws were officially adopted by the board. So if you recall, you recommended approval of those at your first meeting. In addition, at that same meeting on October 5th, the board approved the conditional use permit for Jack's Hollow. This is the Halloween drive-through Halloween event. If you recall, at the last meeting in September, you considered the remand for that case. And the board did approve that application with the same term that was recommended by the board, a 3-year term. But they did revise the stipulation regarding the number of vehicles. They reduced that to a total of 240 vehicles per night, which is consistent with what was approved last year. So they kind of reached another compromise from what the zoning board recommended, and they did approve that application. So they'll have a 3-year CUP. And that's it for the Board of County Commissioners actions. If you'd like, I could continue with the Planning Commission actions. So for the Planning Commission, there was no meeting in September. There will be a Planning Commission meeting next Tuesday, October 24th. And on that agenda for the Planning Commission meeting, and that'll be at 5:45 in this meeting room. On the agenda for next Tuesday will be a study session for the airport compatibility plans for New Century Air Center and Executive Airport. So we'll have a study session with them on that update. That's an update that's a part of our rural comprehensive plan. And of course, that's looking at the compatibility plans for both airports. We did have a study session with the Airport Commission last week. In addition, on that agenda next week for Planning Commission will be a discussion regarding a new lot of record date. This will be an update to the zoning regulations. They'll be considering that update regarding moving the lot of record date from 1982, as is currently required in our regulations, to 2007. So that's a discussion item for the Planning Commission next week. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right. Very good. Thank you very much. Everybody good? All right. So let us move to the business before the board here. The first applicant or application is application number W23-353 REZGA rezoning 19370 Clare Road. It's for Anderson and Bird, and I'm going to let the staff make their presentation.
Thank you. The applicant has requested a continuance while they continue to gather information about their application. They would like this board to continue their application to your next meeting, which is, I don't have the November 15th.
Yes.
November
Okay.
15th, please.
So, Mr. Chairman, Sean Penley, planning staff. So the board will have to make a motion to continue this application. We'll have to take
We
over.
need a motion and a second for approval of moving this to the 15th.
Terry Atwell, I move to approve a continuance on application number W23-353-REZ GA for rezoning at 19370 Clare Road.
Greg Connell, I second.
We have a motion and a second. Clerk, can we take the vote?
John DeGran,
Aye.
Jeff Huff,
Aye.
Terry Atwell,
Aye.
Craig Connell,
Aye.
Donna Gotsman,
Aye.
Bob Paulson,
Aye.
Roger Spears.
Aye.
All right, I see 7-0. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, thank you so much. So we will revisit that in November. The next business before the board is application number W23-350 FDP GA Financial Development Plan 401 New Century Parkway. If we could have staff make their presentation.
Thank you, Karen Miller. This application is located in the New Century Air Center, which is just north and east of the city of Gardner. And moving into the actual New Century Air Center, it's located on New Century Parkway, which is the kind of main northwest road, north-south road. You can see the existing steel and pipe building and the proposed addition to the south and east. So Renaissance Infrastructure Consulting is the applicant for steel and pipe. This will be a final development plan to allow a 13,000 square foot addition to an approximately 162,000 square foot existing building. It's a warehouse and distribution facility. The company Steel and Pipe distributes steel and other metal products. And the first paragraph on the front page really kind of summarizes all of the main issues. The building expansion will be for the purpose of including an internal racking and storage system. And I'm going to move this to the next slide. You can see south of the building is an existing storage yard. It's a paved storage yard. And so this will bring some of their product inside, and it'll be a more efficient way. There'll be an automated retrieval system. And because of this, this automation, there won't be any more employees on the site. They won't lose any parking spaces. So basically, we don't have to worry about stormwater because this will be located on an existing area that's already paved. And so staff has looked at it. We recommend approval because it has very little impact on the area. And so I'll move on and look at a few things that we looked at specifically. So one thing that we are charged to look at, and we start our review of the specific items is on page 4. We need to look at traffic. And one thing that we're really concerned about is making sure that the addition doesn't push out into this circulation lane. And so we had the applicant provide us information about about that, and no, it will not interfere with this. And the reason this is so important is for fire apparatus to be able to quickly access the site in case of a fire. And so I worked with our building codes people, and this is not an issue. Another thing, starting on page 5, 4 and 5 that we need to look at is the building layout and materials. And so this is the existing building. It was built in 1995 prior to any sort of standards for building materials. So currently, if this was a new building, it would be required to have some sort of materials like stone, brick, glass, that type of thing. But because that this is in addition to this existing building, planning staff recommends a deviation from that materials requirement. And instead of requiring these other materials, we think that increased landscaping along the front of the building would be a good compromise, because it really, we're concerned about the look of the building from the road. And so increasing the landscaping, there's already existing landscaping, but adding to that would serve the same purpose as those material requirements. And this is the actual development plan submitted by the applicant. You can see the existing building and the addition. This is a zoom in. And then here's the landscaping plan. They show the existing landscaping and then the supplemental landscaping. And just a note about the current landscaping plan that you're looking at, some of the landscaping is actually located in the right of way and not actually on the lease parcel that Steel and Pipe controls. So one stipulation of approval that we put in is that the applicant submit a new landscaping plan that moves all the new items onto the Steel and Pipe lease area. And then here is the building elevation of the proposed building. And again, that will be screened by existing and new landscaping. And also another thing to note is that, let me go back here. This addition is also recessed quite a ways from the front facade, and it is quite a ways from the road. Another couple stipulations to note is that if lighting is proposed on the site, it's not proposed now, that they would need to submit a lighting plan, and it shall be in compliance with our lighting standards in Article 11. And then also another stipulation, it's stipulation number 6, the applicant shall provide a completed FAA 7460 determination prior to issuance of a building permit. That's to make sure that it doesn't, the building doesn't improperly impose on the airspace, since it is New Century Air Center. And the applicant has been working with Airport Commission and is getting coordinated on that. And with that, I will point out that there is a suggested motion on page 7, if you care to use that, and I'll stand for any questions.
Any questions from the board? Does anybody have any concerns? Head shaking no. No, okay, we got one.
Greg Connell, I got a question.
Yes.
What's the building to the southeast of this facility on the corner?
Let me,
Yeah, they're their own neighbor on the other side. What,
Yeah.
I'm looking at that smaller building. What does that?
this one?
Yes.
I have to be completely truthful. I don't do a lot of work at the New Century Air Center, and I don't know. So anybody else in the room that
Bob
does?
Paulson, I believe it's an apparel warehouse or like jackets or something like that they monogram, I believe is what's sitting there. Because I drove by there last weekend to check it out.
And Mr. Chairman, this is Sean Penley, planning staff. I think that is correct, as Mr. Paulson indicated. And it is a separate tenant space. So all of the land out at New Century is not owned by these individual businesses. They have a lease with the airport, and it's leased. It's on a separate lease parcel. So although you don't see property lines there, they have a separate lease with the airport.
Good question. I'd seen that as well. I was like, it's kind of close, but it's really,
Yeah, it just seems to me that this would kind of help block some of the view of that addition anyway, so
Mhm.
those other buildings, so.
Yes.
great.
Okay.
That's my question I had.
oh, that's
Bob
great.
Paulson again. I want to make a further comment. Like I said, I drove by there last weekend just to kind of see what was all going on. Covering up some of the racking out there with this new building, I think is an improvement. Additional landscaping that's a consideration or a condition of this is also very important because most of the evergreen trees that are there are quite old and they're dead up about, I don't know, 5-6 feet from the ground. You can see right through them. So they're not blocking anything.
And I had a discussion with some other internally, and we were thinking about when the building permit comes in to have them, and when the new landscaping plan comes in to go through and look at all that and get some of the landscaping replaced. And that is another stipulation that landscape planning shall be maintained and replaced when dead. So.
All right. I think that is all the questions from the board. Is there an applicant presentation this evening? Anybody?
The applicant, he is here and will take any questions that you have. They don't have an official presentation planned.
All right. Do we have any additional questions? Thank you for being here, though. I appreciate that. That is wonderful. So we are done there. So the public has spoken. They look like they're good. So I think we're good on that side of it. So no more questions from the zoning board to staff, applicant, or public. Okay, very good. So I would say that we are going to close the public hearing, and then we would call for a motion and a second. Sean, did you have?
No, Mr. Chairman, that's correct. If no one's here to speak, this particular application does not require actual public hearing, but it is correct to indicate if you're ready to make a motion and ready to make a recommendation on this application.
Okay.
I'll offer it up. This is Bob Paulson. I move to recommend approval of application number W 23-350-FDP for the final development plan for a 13,137 square foot addition to a warehouse and distribution facility located at 401 New Century Parkway to include a deviation from building material requirements subject to the stipulations and for the reasons outlined in the staff report.
Have a second?
Donna Getzman, second.
All right, clerk, if I can ask you to take the vote.
Yes, sir. John DeGrand,
Aye.
Jeff Huff,
Aye.
Terry Atwell.
Aye.
Craig Connell,
Aye.
Donna Getzman,
Aye.
Bob Paulson,
Aye.
Roger Spears.
Aye.
And that is 7-0, Chairman.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Thank
And
you.
that-
This application will be heard by the Board of County Commissioners on November 16th, 2023 at 9:30 a.m. in the board hearing room, which is this room right here.
Thank you for that. Appreciate that. All right. That looks like that is the business before the board. Is there other business that anybody would like to discuss?
Mr. Chairman, Sean Penley, planning staff, I would just note that we will have a meeting at the next regularly scheduled meeting for this board on November 15th. Just for your record, we have 2 applications scheduled for that meeting.
Perfect. All right. Well, I think that is good. Can I have a motion to adjournment?
John DeGrand, I move that we adjourn.
A
Terry
second?
Atwell, second.
All right, we have a second. Clerk, I do not need a vote for
All
that.
those-
All right, do I need a vote for that? No vote for that. Well, then I think we are adjourned.